Your brain is a storyteller. It weaves tales of triumph and tribulation, love and loss, hope and heartbreak. Yet there's a peculiar twist to this narrative. It seems to excel at remembering the tragedies, the heartbreaks, and the pain, but struggles to recall the joyous moments, the laughter and the happiness. So why is it that we can remember pain, but not happiness? Why do heartbreaks leave such deep scars that refuse to fade, yet joyful memories seem to slip through our fingers like grains of sand? Is there a reason behind this selective remembrance, or is it just a quirk of our memory? Welcome to our channel, where today we will unravel the science of remembrance and explore why our brains seem to have a particular knack for preserving pain, while happiness often takes a back seat. Here is one quote that sums up today's episode. "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Let's dig into the first point. Our brains are wired to give more importance to negative experiences. Have you ever noticed how your heart pounds, your palms sweat, and your breathing quickens when you encounter a scary movie scene? Your body's natural response to danger, fight or flight, kicks in, flooding your system with adrenaline and cortisol. The amygdala, a small almond-shaped region deep within your brain, plays a crucial role in this process. It acts as a sort of emotional sentinel, quickly analyzing incoming information to assess potential threats. When it perceives danger, it triggers the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine, which heighten your state of alertness and intensify your emotional experience. In essence, the amygdala essentially assigns emotional tags to memories, making them more vivid and long-lasting. Guess what? Negative emotions like fear and pain receive a stronger tag than positive ones like joy and pleasure. That's because our brain has evolved to prioritize negative experiences. Why, you ask? Well, it's all about survival. Remembering danger helps us avoid making the same mistakes and staying alive. This evolutionary pressure has resulted in a brain that is hardwired to pay more attention to and remember negative information. As a result, painful memories become deeply ingrained in our minds, shaping our behaviors and influencing our future decisions. Think about it this way. If you touch a hot stove and burn yourself, you're going to remember that pain. You won't need to be reminded twice to keep your hand away from the stove. On the other hand, if you eat a delicious meal, you might enjoy it in the moment, but that pleasure won't leave a lasting memory that influences your future eating habits. Instead, it's the opposite. A bad meal, on the other hand, can put you off eating that type of cuisine for a long time. The human brain is designed to learn from mistakes and avoid danger. This means that painful and unpleasant experiences leave a stronger impression on us than positive ones. For example, if you get stung by a bee, you'll likely be afraid of bees for the rest of your life. But if a kind stranger smiles at you, you probably won't even remember the next day. Our brains are also more likely to remember things that are surprising, rare, or emotionally charged. Pain and suffering can be extremely intense and overwhelming, which makes them more memorable than everyday occurrences like waking up, brushing your teeth, or driving to work. These mundane tasks become automatic after a while because they don't trigger the brain's attention or emotion centers. But it's not just about the intensity of the experience. The brain also plays a role in deciding what to remember and what to forget. When we experience something painful, the brain releases chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline, which activate the hippocampus, an area responsible for processing emotions and attaching them to memories. The stronger the emotion, the stronger the connection between the hippocampus and the amygdala. This means that memories associated with strong emotions like pain are more likely to be stored and retrieved later on. On the other hand, memories associated with weaker emotions like happiness are less likely to be processed by the hippocampus, and therefore less likely to be remembered. Our brains simply don't have the capacity to store every single memory, so we rely on these emotional shortcuts to decide what is important and what is not. Let's look at another angle. We tend to ruminate over our pain and suffering, which reinforces the memories. We may replay painful experiences in our minds over and over again, thinking about what went wrong, why it happened, and how we could have done things differently. This rumination can make the memory feel fresh and intense, as if it just happened yesterday. We may also talk about our painful experiences with others, which helps to solidify the memory in our minds. By sharing our stories, we reinforce the neural connections related to that memory, making it more resistant to forgetting. Additionally, we may keep mementos that remind us of our pain, such as photos, letters, or other keepsakes. These tangible reminders serve as triggers, bringing back the associated memories and emotions every time we see them. By holding on to these reminders, we consciously or unconsciously choose to keep the memory alive in our minds. Moving on, many of us seek out experiences that alleviate pain and bring us happiness. However, the paradox is that these very actions can inadvertently lead to increased pain. When those pleasurable activities are taken away, for instance, if you find solace in junk food or social media, but then decide to cut back on them for health or personal reasons, the resulting withdrawal symptoms can be painful and uncomfortable. Our brains are naturally inclined to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Therefore, when we voluntarily deprive ourselves of things that bring us joy, our brains perceive it as a loss and react accordingly. It's as if our brains are saying, "Hey, wait a minute, you're taking away something that makes us happy. It's not fair." And how does it respond to this perceived injustice? It tries to convince us that we're making a terrible mistake and that we should give up on this new path we're on. To achieve this, our brain employs a clever tactic, making us remember the good times associated with those activities more vividly. For example, if you've decided to quit eating sweets, your brain might start serving up flashbacks of those delicious desserts you used to indulge in. It's making them seem even more tempting than before. Similarly, if you've chosen to spend less time on social media, your brain might start highlighting the fun and engaging moments you've had while scrolling through those feeds. It's making it harder for you to resist the urge to log back in. Finally, let's consider the role of dopamine in this phenomenon. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in our brain's reward system. It's the brain's way of saying, "Good job, you did something right." When we experience pleasure, our brain releases dopamine, which reinforces the behavior that led to that pleasure. For example, when you eat delicious food, your brain releases dopamine. It's making you feel good and more likely to eat that type of food again in the future. However, dopamine is a fickle fellow. It quickly wears off, leaving us wanting more. This means that the pleasurable feeling associated with certain activities fades away rather quickly, making it difficult for us to remember those moments. On the other hand, stress and anxiety activate the release of cortisol, a hormone that stays in the body for much longer. This means that the unpleasant feeling associated with pain and suffering can linger long after the event itself has passed, making it easier for us to remember. In conclusion, we began our journey by asking a profound question: why do we remember pain but not happiness? And along the way, we've uncovered the intricate mechanisms and psychological factors that contribute to this phenomenon. Our brains are shaped by evolution to prioritize survival, making it more adept at remembering negative experiences that could threaten our well-being. Pain becomes a teacher, shaping our actions and decisions to avoid repeating past mistakes. The amygdala, a key player in our brain's emotional center, helps assign emotional tags to memories, ensuring that painful experiences are both vividly remembered and long-lasting. Furthermore, our tendency to ruminate on pain and seek solace in temporary pleasures can inadvertently lead to an even stronger recollection of past suffering when those pleasures are taken away. Our brain's reward system, driven by dopamine, ensures that we seek out and repeat pleasurable experiences. However, dopamine's fleeting nature causes the associated happiness to fade, making it difficult for us to remember those moments. Ultimately, understanding the interplay of these factors provides us with valuable insights into ourselves and our thought processes. Recognizing why we remember pain can help us process and cope with difficult experiences more effectively, leading to personal growth and resilience. So as we come to the end of this exploration, let us embrace the lessons learned from our past, both the pain and the joy, and strive to create a future filled with wisdom and understanding. And here's one final quote to end the episode. To overcome the pain, sometimes you need to feel the pain. To feel the pain is to acknowledge the pain. And in acknowledging the pain, you transform the pain. Now comes the most important part. If you found this video insightful and would like to support us, please subscribe. Your support motivates us to create more quality content. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.